There is talent everywhere. You just have to look for it.
Tell us how Silicon Peace came about.
Well, Silicon Peace came about when the founder, Jared Dempsey, after a long career in the offshoring industry as a risk assessment manager, understood after lots of experience how much the offshoring industry had transformed the different economies in which it had taken root, such as India, for example. And he realized that offshoring could be used for other things than just making money. It could be used to actually develop economies in a positive direction. For example, places that have been touched by conflict. So from that premise, Silicon Peace was born. The idea being that by bringing in jobs into areas that sorely need them, such as recent conflict zones or areas where the conditions are right, it's reasonably stable, there's good infrastructure and so on, jobs can be imported and help improve the living conditions of people living there and ensure perhaps that conflict won't reignite. Now the examples we like to use, which are our core countries right now, are Palestine, the Ukraine, Lebanon. These are regions which have a good quantity of graduates and engineers, trained people with good skills that can be exported very easily, in areas that have reasonably good infrastructure and are not in a state of active conflict, such as Syria or Afghanistan or Iraq. As a result, that's where most of our activity is focused right now. But we believe the model can be replicated to other countries in the future once they exit conflict conditions.
Is it true that the number of highly qualified people in science and technology subjects is dropping in various parts of the world?
In large parts of the West, that's true. It's a less preferred path to prosperity. There are less and less people in the US, for example, studying STEM subjects. That's a trend that's been going on for a while. And it's one of the reasons the United States imports so many people from all over the world. There's a large demand for technical graduates and skills, and it's not being filled by the local population. Unfortunately, immigration is also a very hot button, as they say, topic, so that complicates things. But at the end of the day, the US imports a lot of people to get its jobs done, which is fine. We're taking a slightly different approach. We're saying that people can stay where they are. They don't necessarily have to travel to the United States to do the job or travel to Paris or London. A lot of work can be done offshore. It doesn't necessarily have to be a mission-critical task either. Someone can be very easily maintaining a website or building a mobile application from anywhere with the current technology. It's not necessary to be in the same room as the customer. So we take the approach that all of these skills can be successfully exported to other countries and used. And they provide a lot of advantages to the companies that need them, because if you cannot find a good iOS developer in New York, it means your product is not going to go out the door. So what does it matter if this iOS developer is working from Beirut, Warsaw, Kiev? It doesn't matter. What matters is that the product gets delivered.
Have you had any successes yet?
We've done a total of one project in Geneva, completed project, proof of concept really. You have to realize that we only recently left stealth mode about 4 months ago. So we're still forming the company. We have interviewed about 40 developers and engineers in Gaza and in the West Bank, and are building up relationships with developer teams in Kosovo, Ukraine, Portugal as well. We're also spending a lot of time with other offshore destinations, such as India, basically to learn about the market and to make sure that our portfolio of engineers and developers is complete so that we can answer pretty much any challenge that someone throws at us. So I'd say our first product was a success. It's a nice website. It was done for a networking group here in Geneva. And the prospects that we're looking at now are also very interesting. Most of them are smallish projects, but some of them have a lot of potential. We recently went to the Cloud Expo in London and met some great companies who were all quite intrigued by the idea, because they're also having trouble finding good people. So they need developers. We all need developers. The economy relies on, well, programming, software. We have people who can do it, so give us a call.
What are your next steps and goals for the future?
Well, the first goal is to survive, like any startup, to get off the ground. The second goal is to get known. And the third goal is to make sure that businesses know that we provide a quality offering, that we can compete with pretty much any offshore team from any company in the world. That, of course, requires references, so we're actively selling, marketing. We want to get enough traction this year where the company is economically viable and can support the partners that we're already working with in the Middle East. Okay? Another project is to sort of use Silicon Peace as a pivot point, as a jump, a stepping stone for companies that want to work in the Middle East or want to enter Middle Eastern markets. There is talent everywhere. You just have to look for it.
Frank Rowland, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you very much for watching. I'm Christopher Hemmons, and joining me today was Frank Rowland, the Director of IT at Silicon Peace. That's it from us, but you can go to our website, dukerscopy.tv, for more exclusive content.